The Will You Grow Show goes live Sundays 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern. To receive notifications, click the subscribe button beneath this video, or visit YouTube's Will You Grow channel to see more shows and videos. And now, here's Will You founder Angelique Medow with this week's Will You Grow Show.
Welcome to the Will You Grow Show. How are you? My name is Angelique, and I'm here to ignite your inner courage to liberate yourself from limitations. I'm the founder of Will You and WillYouGrow.com, an inspirational multimedia company that provides personal growth and joy through education, conversation, and adventures. Our weekly grow shows, like the one you're watching today, begin by tackling touchy subjects that'll tickle your tempestuous thoughts, fan your eternal flame, and salve your soul with hope. Halfway through, we'll take a 60-second look at what people have to say about us and share any new goodies that we've created just for you. Then we'll hear the crew's perspective and go hands-on to talk fun tips and tools to begin implementing today's lesson into your life. Here in the studio with me today are our audio aficionado, Ben.
It's me.
And our video Santa, Neil.
Me too.
They help make this show happen while sharing their humor and perspectives. Today's episode is brought to you by Life and Nature, who keep our hearts beating and our world turning. We say thank you to life, nature, and each and everyone who helps bring these shows to you. We also thank each and every viewer, and especially those who hit the like button, the share button, and the subscribe buttons today. We are grateful and glad that all of you are here. Now, on to today's episode. Are you clairgustant? Can you physically taste foods that are in your imagination but not in your mouth? Do you have a career in the food industry? Are you able to cook by taste alone without a recipe? If so, you may experience a type of intuitive, extrasensory perception called clairgustance. So you might wonder, is clairgustance intuition? Yes, clairgustance is a form of intuition. 4 weeks ago, we talked in depth about intuition, and you may wish to watch that video if you'd like more information about intuition. There are 4 main types and 7 total ways that we're aware of to receive intuition, also called extrasensory perception or ESP. They are clairsentience, which means clear feeling, clairvoyance, which means clear seeing, clairaudience, which means clear hearing, and clairgustance, which we'll discuss today. In the following Sundays, we'll discuss 2 less commonly known forms of intuition called clairalience and clairtangency. And we also have live group Zoom discussions about our experiences with these forms of intuition every Friday, and I'll share more about that in a bit. Intuition is important because each type of intuition is a means for us to receive vital information for survival, health, prosperity, and happiness of ourself, others, and the world. When we know which forms of intuition are most prominent for us, we can tune our awareness to that wisdom and truth. This allows us to sense danger and opportunities, giving ourselves more peace, vitality, and freedom without requiring other people and things to aid or validate us. It's important to note that intuition and its varying forms are not just for the gifted people. These forms of intuition are the gifts for us all. How good we are at receiving them is just a matter of whether or not we choose to be aware, be open to receive, accept it, and do something with it. So what is clairgustance? Clairgustance, as defined by yourdictionary.com, is, quote, the paranormal ability to taste a substance without putting anything in one's mouth, unquote. The website goes on to say that, quote, it is claimed that those who possess this ability are able to perceive the essence of a substance from the spiritual or ethereal realms through taste, unquote. It also defines the word paranormal as, quote, beyond the range of normal experience or scientific explanation, unquote. In my experience, clairgustance isn't paranormal, although it isn't logical and it isn't scientific. It is a natural ability that most people are simply unaware of, and therefore they haven't developed. Here are some of my experiences with clairgustance: the good, the bad, and the ugly. Here's the good. Clairgustant information arrives as a complete taste in my mouth. For example, if I physically bite into this apple, which smells amazing, by the way, and I chew the apple for a while and then hold the bits of apple and skin in my mouth, the complete flavor of the skin, the flesh, and the juice are all present in my mouth. Now, to compare that to clairgustant intuition, the complete flavor of the apple would be instantly in my mouth, minus the actual apple and the changing of the flavors that occurs during the actual physical process of chewing. For people who are skeptics and contrarians, the concept of clairgustant knowing by taste will be nearly, if not impossible, to grasp, because these folks know by means of thinking. Alternately, clairgustance is knowing by means of taste, which does not involve thinking. I find clairgustance in general to be exceedingly helpful, and I find it an enjoyable ability. For example, I use clairgustance at the grocery store. When I look at food, I can intuitively taste it, which helps me decide if I like it before I buy. I also use clairgustance to select new restaurants and menu items. Many of you may be able to relate to this ability on a smaller scale. For example, have you ever thought of a favorite holiday dish and then physically tasted the way it tastes in your mouth? If so, you may be clairgustant. Now, the bad example. As you may well know, not everything in this world tastes good. Personally, I would rather taste it all than to not be able to taste the amazing side of the spectrum. So I accept the bad tastes with the good. An intensely bad clairgustant example, the most difficult one I've ever had, is when I was with a beloved family member as she passed from her body. Before she died, I experienced everything that she did, including the taste in her mouth at that time. She was very ill, and the taste was wretched. Moments after her soul passed from her body, the clairgustant taste in my mouth disappeared. I was tasting her experience from her perspective. And when she left her body and no longer tasted that, neither did I. Now, here's the ugly. Clairgustant abilities are rarely known by people. Other people may misunderstand and be frightened by what and how we know things by means of taste, and they may criticize or rebel against our truth. As a clairgustant intuitive, I had to learn to not take this personally. The good news is, I used their fear of the unknown and their criticism of me the same way that a farmer uses manure. They spread it, I grew from it. Instead of shutting down and making myself smaller so that they would feel better, I chose to learn more, know more, and become stronger. Albeit inadvertently, the stubborn people in my life have helped me to grow in confidence, knowingness, and independence, for which I am grateful. So, will we stand in our knowingness or back down? It's up to each of us whether or not we'll put up with people who put us down. As the old saying goes, there are only two things that are never ending: the grace of God and the foolishness of man. The fantastic news is, by choosing knowing and intuition over attempting to pacify people's insecurities, we become more confident and our knowing grows even stronger. So you might wonder, what's the difference between clairgustance and making believe? From my perspective, if you're wondering if it might sound nuts to be able to taste things in ways that don't make sense, well, don't let fear hold you back from knowing what's true. Here's what I've gleaned about the difference between clairgustance and make-believe from my 50 years of experience. The difference between making things up and knowing true intuitive messages is grounding. What I mean by grounding is that it is grounded in reality. For example, a reality-based, grounded, clairgustant, intuitive message will be true. The clairgustant taste of a piece of fruit will match the physical taste of the fruit in reality. On the other hand, a reality-based, grounded, clairgustant, intuitive message will not be accompanied by fear, desire, emotions, and will not be accompanied by mental constructs such as anxiety, paranoia, escapism, excitement, drama, guilt, pain, shame, and any resulting psychological disorder. Grounded, clairgustant messages will not instruct us to do immoral, customarily defined as criminal acts. Rather, when one receives a clairgustant message, it's like tasting clearly as a fact. It is what it is. The messages are what they are, and that's it. It has the same factual sense feeling as looking at a math equation. So if we're feeling fear, desire, or any emotion at the moment we receive the taste information, it is not clairgustance. So are you clairgustant? Here are 7 tips to know. There are lots more, but try these on for size and see if any fit you. Number 1, you can taste things by looking at them. Number 2, you can taste things by imagining them. Number 3, you know instantly if you will like the taste of something. Number 4, you are good at knowing if a recipe will taste good. Number 5, harsh personalities literally leave a bad taste in your mouth. Number 6, you have to explain that a new food will taste good when no one has physically tasted the food. Number 7, you can know what other people taste. So why would we ignore clairgustant truth? We may ignore clairgustant truth if we feel inherently afraid of losing control. We may be in our limited mindset and only want the thoughts that our mind generates to get our attention. We might also feel afraid of the vast capability to know anything and the sheer vastness of the amount of information available. And we might be afraid of whatever we may need to change once we know the truth. Fear keeps us stuck. Maybe no one we know talks about intuition or intuitive guidance, and we're afraid of being different. Maybe we're afraid of being ostracized for our abilities. Maybe we're afraid that other people will think or say that we're crazy or are wrong. If we're focused on those things, well, we'll be stuck. Instead, we can focus on being curious about the new, real, interesting, limitless tastes and flavorful truth that's available to us through intuition, and the new people, places, and potential to which it leads. At what age will we free ourselves from the bondage of what other people think? As Gandhi said, quote, "We must be the change we wish to see in the world," unquote. We can't all just talk about how great it would be if everyone else around us would stop impairing themselves with drugs, alcohol, food, phones, video games, and fear. If we actually want to be real and honest and connect with other real, honest people, animals, and intuitive information, someone has to do it. And that someone is me and a lot of other someones who you may not know yet. The question is, will you? Intuitive clairgustant information is available to each of us. The clear taste that is available to us by means of the Holy Spirit and God within us needs to be uncovered, honored, and cherished. When we connect to all truth via any or all of the sources of intuition, we live in the expansive possibilities of learning an infinite perception of ourself and life. This type of open taste and perception allows us to see and be in meaningful and joyful ways. So why develop our clairgustance? Because clairgustance gives us a real, powerful edge to maintain pleasurable taste experiences, since we can know what will taste good before we eat it. Clairgustance can also save us from eating spoiled or deadly foods. It can help us to know the overall health of those around us. It can also bring us vital information. And on a superficial level, it can save us from a potential embarrassment at a dinner party. When we know that something will not taste good or sit well with us, we can bypass that dish and not put it on our plate. And that can save us from any embarrassment of not eating the food or eating it and having to get it out of our mouth while in public. And clairgustance can open up worlds of flavor to us. It can lead us to eat wonderful new foods that we never had before, which can lead to joyful, meaningful experiences in life and love around the dinner table. Clairgustance is a solid, stable connection to truth within taste, and this provides ease and peace. Personally, I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Is it possible to hone our clairgustance to access more information? I have found that with practice, yes. It is possible to hone our clairgustance and other forms of intuition even amidst chaotic external circumstances. In the beginning, it can be challenging since being disconnected from intuition is a habit. It needs to be broken just like any other habit and addiction. And that's the way we need to treat disconnection, like a bad habit that kills our satisfaction, peace, happiness, and connection to ourself, others, and everything. So here are 14 of the most prominent ways to explore and develop clairgustance. There are innumerable ways to hone clairgustance, so try some of these and see what works for you or find your own. Number 1, be aware of what we are tasting even when we are not eating. In order to be aware, we need to not do the things that make us unaware, such as alcohol, drugs, TV, video games, unhealthy food, and spending time in low-vibe environments, etc. These limit or block our ability to receive intuitive information. Number 2, be open to receive. That means allowing truth, not fearing it or desiring a specific truth. Number 3, accept it. That means knowing it fully. It means not limiting our capacity for truth by fearing, denying, repressing, and/or suppressing. Number 4, do something with it. Because just like you, if you regularly offer advice to someone who never applies it, you stop offering it and walk away. I've found that the same is true of intuitive guidance. It's not gone, but if I don't use it like a muscle, it atrophies. Number 5, practice makes confidence. Keep exploring and noticing what you notice. Allow yourself to be inwardly pleased about your choice to learn. Number 6, develop the other forms of intuition. By using many forms all together, it is validating and solidifying, providing even more details and greater accuracy. Number 7, take care of ourselves in general. The healthier, happier, and less stressed we are, the more open we are to receive new information. Number 8, trust that we are cared for, protected, and it's okay, regardless what information we receive. Number 9, Accept that other people may not understand. And drop the complex about it, because it's okay to know things that other people don't. Number 10. Know, respect, and fulfill the highest purpose. Like any tool, intuitive gifts may be used to spread education and enjoyment, or fear and destruction. Choose well, because secrets are temporary and consequences are unavoidable. Number 11. Don't try. Trying is born from a fear of not being capable. Instead of trying, simply allow ourselves to freely receive intuitive information without fear or criticism. Number 12, affirm. You all ready? We're going to say this affirmation together. I can taste truth from any distance. Yes. Number 13, meditate. Because it's like vitamins for the body. It's a blanket of protection from stress, maintains health, and reduces the stress that can block us from hearing guidance. Number 14. Spend time in nature, not thinking. Because between the sounds, we can know truth. It's a great place to practice. Support for learning in live Zoom meetings is now available. There are lots more tips such as breathing, nutrition, exercise, sleep, self-care, etc. And there's a whole lot of great information available about the topics of clairgustance and intuition. Doing it alone can be challenging, so join us for live support via Zoom every Friday from noon to 1 Eastern Time. We'll meet to share the intuitive experiences and questions we encountered during the week as we apply the tips to hone our intuition. If you're opposed to group learning, join anyway. The lessons you'll learn by listening to the exploration and experiences of others, honestly, it's invaluable. Also, it's a place that's free of judgment, criticism, and bullying, so you are free to experience and share without fear. I'll be leading the meetings to give extra tips and tools and making sure that no one's storytelling overtakes the meeting. I'll also make sure we stay on task and spur you on to grow. And group meetings are less expensive than one-on-one mentoring. To register, go to the description box and click Group Growth via Zoom. Donate at least $30 per month and attend all meetings or just some meetings as it works for you and for as long and as often as you wish, and you may cancel at any time. I also recommend reading Laura Day's book titled Practical Intuition. It's the first book I used as I began developing my intuitive abilities in my 20s, and it has helped me tremendously. It's easy to read and has fun exercises. To buy the book, you can find a link in our description box. So will you hone your clairgustance? We'll take a 60-second break to turn it over to you to consider. When we come back, we'll hear what the crew has to say about today's topic and talk tips and tools to be more clairgustant by means of Mother Nature.
The Will You Grow show will now take 60 seconds to check in with you. If you're wondering how to apply a Grow Show topic to your life, here's what people say about mentoring with Angelique.
One of Angelique's gifts is, first of all, to be so in touch with herself and with nature that she can see what truth is, that I think maybe can escape people at times.
She looks right through you and sees what's inside of you.
I think she just sensed that I was very uptight with my emotions, and she's been able to guide me and help me know those emotions.
This is your girl. Self-care is not selfish. If you really want to dig deep and stop living on the surface, then schedule a conversation with Angelique.
Introducing something new from Will You Grow? The Group Grow Show discussion. Join Angelique each Friday at noon Eastern Time to discuss your questions about the show topics and ways to apply the tips. To register, just go to the description box. Then click the link for Group Grow. Give your gift of $30 per month or more, and we'll email you a thank you, along with a link to join the Friday meetings. We look forward to seeing you at the new Group Grow Show discussion. If you'd like to buy the book Angelique described in today's show, it's available to purchase by following the link in the description box. By purchasing through that link, you will be supporting your own learning, the publisher, and will you. Just click the link in the description box to buy your book about practical intuition.
Welcome back. And now let's hear what the crew has to say about today's topic.
I know that this is something I have completely undeveloped or not developed, because I can remember clearly this one time in the grocery store when I was a kid. I don't know what grocery store this would have been, but they had star fruit in the produce section. And I was like, that looks freaking awesome. I need to have star fruit now. Never having tasted it or tasted anything that was supposed to taste like star fruit. And I could just picture it perfectly. I knew it was going to be like juicy and tropical and perfection. And I got home, and I like fruit. Big kiwi person. Mm-hmm. You know, it doesn't have to be just like a strawberry or something pedestrian. Star fruit is awful. It does not taste good to me at all. It didn't taste anything like what I was picturing.
If you grow star fruit, we're sorry.
So yeah, that's my. I could work on it for sure.
I've never heard of a star fruit.
It's like.
Is it shaped like a star?
It is.
It's like cylindrical or like a banana, but thicker and star shaped.
Okay.
The cross section is star shaped.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
did that make sense? What I said? Okay.
And what was the taste? Equivalent to something? Was it bitter?
Somewhere between underwhelming and rancid.
Oh gosh. You had a bad star fruit, Ben. I can't help but wonder if you actually might be imagining what a true star fruit tastes like.
Maybe.
Because a star fruit that's good tastes like a little bit more of a sour honeydew. Like, not sour, but just a little bit more of a, less sweet.
See, I don't like honeydew either.
Okay. But it's a similar texture.
Yeah.
Right? Do you remember that the texture was...
I don't remember the texture that much.
But it wouldn't be like a sweet fruit. It would be more along the lines of a mid-ripe kiwi.
I could see that. Now that I've dogged starfruit.
now your exercise will be
to try one.
To try one
again, because you actually might have been clairgustantly right on, except that particular piece of fruit that you were looking at, maybe you said, I want one of those, Mommy, and she picked up a different one than the one you actually were looking at.
It's possible.
I thought, like Ben, I think this is undeveloped. Well, pretty much for me, all of these are undeveloped, obviously, because he and I are starting our journey and beginning to hone our intuition. But this one, although some of the tips you were listing of the 7, 2 come out strongly with me. I am able to taste something before tasting it. Or I'm able to taste something and know that it tastes good, that it's going to taste good, like my meatloaf. Share that recipe with everybody. But the other one was people. Some people leave a bitter taste. I think we can all share that tip.
But are we aware of the fact that the taste is actually present, or we just
I'm aware.
Get turned on? See? Your awareness is greater than others.
With certain people, yes, indeed.
I've also heard you say something else that was clairgustant. You've said that, and your family has said that, you are able to cook without a recipe and put things together, and it tastes good.
Yep. I call those cabinet specials. I just, that'll be nice. Oh, that'll look good. A little bit of this, a little bit. Mm-hmm. And they are.
To catch everybody up, for the last few weeks, both Neil and Ben have made commitments to their own personal growth as related to becoming more open to their intuitive gifts. A few weeks ago, Neil committed to meditating 5 minutes daily. He succeeded and learned that he felt more peaceful and that he'd like to do it longer than 5 minutes and that he was bothered just a bit by anxiety. The last few weeks, he also committed to meditating more than 5 minutes a day. Then he also committed to spending some time in nature while he was meditating. Ben committed to not blocking his intuition with alcohol on Mondays. He has succeeded, and he has opened himself to several experiences that he said he would not have had if the blockers were involved. So let's see how they did.
How'd you do?
It's a lot of video games that have come into play while not blocking. And so I think this is maybe something that Angelique could speak to. I think it's easy when you have a lot of distractions that when you say, okay, well, I'm going to cut this one out, the others just sort of creep in and fill that space. So I actually had purchased a couple new games for my computer, and I basically traded liquid blockers for visual ones. And it affects all kinds of other stuff too, because if you're, staying up playing your game, you're not going to get good sleep. So my progress is... Neil, what's a more positive word than stagnant?
Your progress.
I'm still committed to the Mondays.
You are committed. Your progress is paused, but that doesn't mean you're not going to do it. Yeah, you're committed to. And you might be time to your exercise might need to be decreasing your video game consumption.
May I give you a little more credit?
Go for it.
I would like to give you a little more credit. Okay. You know how people take steps when they are going to get ready to, you can't just look like Arnold Schwarzenegger by going to the gym once. Okay, right? It takes steps to get there. It takes, first of all, being committed to going to the gym, then going to the gym. Then you start with 5 pounds or 10 pounds and you build up from there. And the next thing you know, you're doing 15 pounds and then 20 pounds. Well, going from alcohol to video games is from 5 pounds to 10 pounds kind of a deal. Okay. So the level of destruction that you might be creating in your body by drinking alcohol, maybe that's less than it is by using the video games. Okay. So you're also, that's one great compliment to yourself. 2, you're also learning. You're learning that you can't take away an addiction and plop in another one.
Mm-hmm.
And get to the level of health that you're actually seeking.
Yeah.
Now that, I know people who are in their 60s who still haven't learned that lesson. They just continually put another physical thing, which is a distraction, which blocks them from intuitive gifts. And then they think that they don't have any. Well, so I hope that you can sense for yourself and really feel kind of, the little, warm feelings in your heart about what's actually happening here. You're learning and growing a lot that you wouldn't have a month ago, because of your choice to switch your blockers at this point. Now, you already know. I don't have to tell you. I can tell by your expression. I can tell by the way that you're speaking about it. I can tell by the way you were sighing heavily. I could tell by your body posture. I can tell by the way you feel that you already know what you're going to need to do.
Yeah.
But the good news is you already know how to do it. The same way that you took away the alcohol and put in another blocker, you can take away the video game blocker and do what? Put in something healthy of your choice. Not only just healthy, can't look at it like I'm going to put in broccoli when I really want steak. Put in something healthy that you're excited about.
Okay.
Maybe a dream that you let go years ago. Maybe something you've always wanted to do. Something you've always wanted to see. A museum. Go to look at some fantastic Stratocaster. Something
Yeah.
healthy that is exciting and growing you.
That is very helpful. Thanks.
So what would you like to commit to for next week? And are you ready to commit to something for next week?
For next week.
Breathe. Breathe.
I
Take a
wanna,
nice
like,
deep
remove-
breath. Take a deep breath.
'Cause they, I will keep my current plan of eliminating blockers on Mondays.
Say that again. And are you meaning alcoholic blockers?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know that I can. I don't know. If I said no video games, I would probably just not do it.
Right. You've got to say something that you want to
Yeah.
do.
Hmm.
What about,
I'm trying to think here.
what about, would you be willing to continue not blocking alcohol and over the next week, think of something that would be more exciting to you than video games?
That sounds perfect.
Ding, ding, ding. Woo! Can't wait to hear about that next
Thank you
week.
for that suggestion.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Neal.
Let's see. My exercise was continuing more meditation and then going out in nature. And I did that the other day. And I was driving, looking for a good spot. And on the drive, in our area, we have a section. The fall colors are vibrant right now. So in our area, we have a little section of a scenic byway. And I was telling Ben earlier that the colors were just amazing. I was almost meditating while driving, which I don't suggest. It's not very safe. But just simply I turned the radio off, rolled the windows down, and just was taking in that beauty of that drive. And it was I've never really noticed it to that level. And it was really gorgeous. And so that helped kind of clear my mind a little bit, turning the radio off, opening the window, and just driving and taking all that in. And then I pulled off and found a little place next to a little stream, sat on my rock, and just... At first I closed my eyes, but then that wasn't working for me. So I just sat there and just stared at the water. And that's an exercise I'm going to try again, is just staring at the rushing stream of water and see what I can see. Because I was staring at it and I started to see, but it was fuzzy and I didn't know what it was. But I could see, just letting that, just shut your brain off and just look and see what that rushing water will show you. Different little images and different little things. So, I enjoyed that time. It was very peaceful. I didn't think. Left my phone in the car. I did this for like 2 hours. Well, the driving, was a lot of driving, but then getting out, going to these different little sections, trying to find a good place that would work for me. And I think I have. So I'm going to continue that and then add more of that. And it was very relaxing, very peaceful. So yeah, that was my experience.
Great. That's a beautiful experience.
Yeah.
And I want to really commend you, not only for following through on your commitment to go, but also you just received and basically taught yourself an experience that I'm trying to remember what the Indians call it, but the words mean in English being with. It's being with. When
Like
one
with nature, being one with nature. Is that
that's
similar?
part of it, because that's the result.
Oh, okay.
But by turning off your radio and rolling down the window and allowing all your senses and all of you to be present with the experience of nature and life. Something shifted in you. Your whole focus was on that life itself. And when we aren't moving or involved with our physical senses, we're able to observe something else outside of us and see it in ways that we never could before, like that water. And when we use the word observe, that allows us to see in ways that aren't just physical.
Right.
That allows for intuitive information to come to us. The same way that people look at a candle and that area of the flame around the candle, but don't look at it, they just observe it. It's like you're away, your vision is away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the water. If you're not looking for something, which is you trying, and you're simply open to observe it, you can receive messages and guidance. And nature and life also, my experience, is that they can feel your gratitude, that it can feel your attention. Just like if we imagine that nature and the water is a child, if we're not paying any attention to it, it's just going to go off and do its own thing.
Yeah.
But if we're looking right at it, lovingly observing, we see a whole different child.
It'll love us back.
And the experience is mutual, which is beautiful.
Yep.
So what would you like to commit to next week?
More of the nature, more of getting out and shutting my, not thinking. I mean, I just walked around the banks of this creek because it was low, so you were able to get out a little further than you normally are.
Okay, so another day?
Yeah.
Go for another day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I really do want to start building that into my day. It's a little easier when you're self-employed. It's not as easy when you have a 9-to-5 job, so it's a little easier for me to do that. So if you can do that, I would suggest that. Build that into your day. Just make that your part of your day. You can't do it every day, obviously. That's not,
You can do it for 5 minutes sitting on your porch.
You can do it, exactly. Go outside, sit on your patio. If you have a large farm, go out and sit on top of a hill or whatever. But yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, both of you. Great experiences and a lot of wonderful learning, not only on your part, but opportunities to learn from the viewer's part as well.
Exactly.
Good show. Okay. And now it's Metaphysical Tool Time. Today's tools are a stone, an animal, and a flower. As always, the information included is for educational and entertainment purposes only and are not a substitute for medical advice. As always, you are fully responsible for your choices. We do not encourage the worship of any healing tool mentioned in this or any other video. We encourage everyone to appreciate the divinity within everything, including themselves. Let's begin with today's stone. Ben, what can you share with us about white topaz?
We have gathered some info from crystalvaults.com and happinez.com. White topaz. This crystal brings friendship to your life and helps you to be honest and loyal. Its vibrations make you do the right thing and support you in making morally correct choices. It's also said to boost the taste buds. Topaz has been referred to as the gourmet stone, known for its ability to liven sensitivity to taste and stimulate the taste buds. It's an excellent crystal for those whose sense of taste has faded or been temporarily lost. Wine stewards have been known to use it before blind taste tests, and sucking on a topaz before a meal allows for better appreciation of food as well as aiding digestion. White topaz is also known to be helpful in stimulating numerous psychic abilities, all along with boosting intuition. So it's the perfect stone for today's topic and for all the intuitive abilities.
Thank you, Ben. And our healing animal is quite the surprise. Neil, would you share with us about this animal and its pertinence to today's topic?
Yes. Today's animal is a surprise to me, too. It's the catfish. Yes, if you've been noodling, you know what a catfish is. Shockingly enough, the catfish has the most known taste buds of any animal. At 175,000 known taste buds. Wow. Its sense of taste allows it to find foods even amid deep and murky river waters. The following information is from livescience.com. The average person has about 10,000 taste buds. That number may seem like a lot, but it pales in comparison to the animal that has the most. That's because this creature has taste buds not only in its mouth, but all over its body. See, you learn all sorts of great things here on the Will You Grow Show. Tiny taste buds are sensory organs comprised of cells that detect the molecules that constitute flavor, are located all over the catfish's body, but are most concentrated on the 4 pairs of whiskers around its mouth. These whiskers, called barbels, act as an antenna. Along with the thousands of buds along their body, the whiskers allow the fish to not only taste when dinner is nearby, but also hone in on its exact location. The mighty catfish. Who knew? We know now.
Thank you, Neil. And today's flower are pansies. Can you see these little babies over here? Purple, white, yellow, and white with little dark eggplant purple faces. Aren't they sweet? They come in a variety of colors that range from white, peach, cream, periwinkle, maroon, red, and a dark violet-like black. And they are known for their multicolored faces and petals. Although pansies probably won't help us develop our clairgustance, they are one of nature's edible flowers. Along with violets, lavender, hibiscus, honeysuckle, lilac, marigold, roses, and others, pansies add a bold, bright, and beautiful gastronomic alliance with many salads, drinks, and desserts. These little sweethearts are enjoyed by deer, squirrels, rabbits, and humans alike. Pansies boast a minty flavor and may be purchased from many local garden centers and grocery stores. So, to sum things up, if we want to become more clairgustant, we can open up and allow more intuitive information to flow to us by not caring what other people think, taking good care of ourselves, wearing a white topaz stone, and practicing today's tips. So what say ye? Share your thoughts and feelings in the comments section, and let's learn to get more connected to intuition together. As always, we thank you for watching and sharing time with us. If you liked today's show, we'd be honored if you'd hit the like button and let us know that you like what we're doing. And hit the subscribe button and the bell to receive all new shows, and hit the share button to share this message with people you care about. We ask for these things because each time you like, subscribe, or share our videos, they become more visible via YouTube, which allows more new people to find and watch the video and receive inspiration and tools for their healing. Your likes and your shares support healing and connection. And that's what we're all about. And to receive free goodies from us, see our other YouTube channels, buy Laura's book, and get registered to meet us on Fridays, check out our description box. If you'd like some personal one-on-one support, schedule your complimentary conversation with me by clicking the link in the description box, or go to willyougrow.com to learn more. And I'll look forward to speaking with you soon. And for now, we bid you adieu. Take excellent care of your very fine self, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Always with love, I send to you. From Angelique.
If you'd like to buy the book Angelique described in today's show, it's available to purchase by following the link in the description box. By purchasing through that link, you will be supporting your own learning, the publisher, and Will You. Just click the link in the description box to buy your book about practical intuition. For more information about programs offered by Will You, mentoring with Angelique, and to watch video success stories from clients, explore willyougrow.com. If you or your company are interested in inspiring our mutual audience by sponsoring this or another of our programs, let's talk about it. Boost viewer confidence and trust in your company. Call 1-833-WILL-YOU, then press extension number 6. Make sure to click the subscribe button to get reminders before upcoming shows.